Ovince Saint Preux versus Jamahal Hill takes place this weekend in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 16, Hermansson versus Vettori, and I can't wait for this light heavyweight bout. You've got OSP versus Jamahal Hill, Ovince Saint Preux. Here we are again. How many more times are we going to play out this scenario, OSP, before you finally call it quits? Young, hungry up-and-comer, Ovince Saint Preux. If they beat OSP, they're going to be looking at the light heavyweight division, and we've really got a monster on our hands. But if they lose to OSP, they're going to go in a bad direction in their career unless they can regroup and come back and take on the best gatekeeper in the game once again, because OSP might really be the best gatekeeper in the game, because he's on that gate extra hours. Like a lot of gatekeepers, they come around once a year, you know, but OSP's putting in the night shift on the gatekeeping hours, you know what I mean? He never leaves. Like, he's taking on extra hours. He's looking for double pay. OSP's a real savage. This ain't no furlough gatekeeper, okay? He's on job. He's a key worker right now, OSP, as a gatekeeper. Looking forward to it. I do believe that Jamahal Hill is going to get the job done, but I do understand every single time OSP is an underdog that bettors start licking their lips, because OSP has a knack for upsetting fights against Tyson Pedro. Tyson Pedro was the young up-and-comer, expected to beat OSP, went out there, started doing really good against OSP, but then OSP's chin just gets a second life. Quick revive engages, and OSP's back to his feet, and then OSP gets the submission on Tyson Pedro, and another guy who was supposed to wipe out OSP, or not wipe out OSP, but was supposed to overtake OSP, was little known guy called Corey Anderson, tried to do it, got head kicked brutally in that fight, and OSP gets the job done. Mikhail Alexeychuk was supposed to be this up-and-comer, 14-2, KO power in his hands, devastating KO power, one-shot power, out cold every single guy until that point. I saw that against Antigulov with the Alexeychuk fight. Really dangerous power. Goes in there against OSP, tries to land the power. OSP survives it somehow with that chin of his, because it's so questionable, but sometimes it answers those questions, and it comes back with vengeance, and he got the job done by submission against Mikhail Alexeychuk. I just don't like the matchup for OSP, because I feel like I've narrowed this down to size. Alonzo Menifield, another guy, shorter, stockier, looking for the big KO punch, much like Mikhail Alexeychuk. Can't get it done because they just can't find OSP's chin at that range, because he stands very tall, he's up on his toes, his chin's way up in the air at times, but sometimes that can be effective against a guy who's shorter than you, because your chin up in the air is just taking away extra reach from him, and you're naturally kind of rolling with punches. Of course, you don't want to leave your chin up in the air as you're going in for an exchange, but when OSP's scooting around, he's up on his toes, his chin's quite high, and I feel like these shorter guys with their shorter frames, like Alonzo Menifield, who I picked OSP to KO, by the way, because I didn't think Menifield was going to get it done. He was coming off a short notice turnaround after a Devin Clark performance where he got beat the shit out of. Don't know why they made that fight, but it might have ruined Alonzo Menifield's career. We shall see. But OSP gets it done against him. But I feel like the frame is a big deal when you come in against OSP, because guys that have been bigger seem to have been doing better against OSP for the most part. You look at Mikhail Alexeychuk, Alonzo Menifield, the two shorter, stockier guys of the light heavyweight division recently. Then you look at the Nikita Krylovs. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Dominic Reyes of the division, the taller guys that have the frame that can match the range of OSP and not get caught on the outside, and they don't have to risk big engagements against OSP because they can just go tit for tat with him. And I like Jamahal in this fight for that reason. I think he's going to go out there and get the KO in the first or second round against OSP. I really do, because he's very educated. He's got knockout power. He showed that in his last performance. Of course, OSP showed that in his last performance as well. But still, Klidson Farias Diabriou is a tough guy. Went to a decision against Magomed Ankalaev, and some judges thought that he won the round. So it was a good fight, of course. Klidson Farias Diabriou took big shots off of Magomed Ankalaev as well, and then you just watch Jamahal Hill go out there and just dismantle him. Now he's back again, 7 months later. He's 29 years of age. He's lucky he's a light heavyweight, because if you're 29 and you're 8-0 and you're just getting into your career like Jamahal Hill is, even though he's been around for a while, he's a bit old right now, but that could mean some good things. Maybe he hasn't taken the same damage as some of these guys that have been in there since they were young. Maybe he's still going to learn way more, even at this ripe old age of 29, like we're seeing with Greg Hardy right now. People that start the sport late, they're still at base layer 1 in terms of knowledge of the sport. So you're seeing them, even though they're 34, they're making the adjustments and the increases and improvements in their game that a 24-year-old would be making. I like it with Jamahal Hill. Definitely seeing the improvement. I also like the fact that in his Darko Stozic fight, he went to a distance. I really like that in an OSP matchup. I like to see that a guy can go to a decision and not gas out towards the end of it, because Jamahal Hill really did beat up Darko Stosic, the greatest of all time, let's not forget, Darko the Nutcracker Stosic. But still, Darko Stosic took him to a decision, and Jamahal Hill put a pace on him, beating him up the entire time, and I like seeing that, because he really did put a whooping on Darko Stosic in that second round. I mean, I'll just try and find the strike numbers for you right now. I believe it was something like 50-something to 2 or 54 to 8 in strikes in the second round. I mean, to have that kind of volume and output in the light heavyweight division and still go on to double Darko Stosic in the third round and land 20 shots, I like that when I'm seeing a fight between him and OSP, because it seems like a lot of these guys that fight OSP, they blow their wad looking for the chin because it's so tempting. It's right there. It's right there within grasp, but it's just out of grasp, that chinny chin of OSP. But I like that Jamahal Hill did not blow his wad. He used a lot of volume in his fight with Stosic, and he kept coming and showed that he has that cardio behind him. And he also doesn't throw everything into all of his shots. So I think his volume-based style is actually going to benefit him over a more power, swinging like crazy style with an Oleksiejczuk or a Manyfield. So this is going to be one of those times where I don't pick OSP as an underdog, even though he's always a good underdog. This is the problem with OSP, because he could have beat Ben Rothwell. He honestly could have beat Ben Rothwell. I mean, they gave it to Ben Rothwell. It was a close fight. Could have gone either way, but went up to heavyweight. Like, he can tussle with big boys. I think Jamahal Hill's going to get the job done by KO in the first or second round, but it's just always risky when you're picking against OSP, so it's a dangerous one. But, you know, Jamahal Hill in his short career, I know it doesn't really tell us too much because he hasn't really fought too many guys, but he's got better striking accuracy, a much higher volume as well, which I was talking about. He's got a 7.9 strikes landed per minute in the light heavyweight division. That is actually ridiculous of an output. So that's why I love him in this matchup, because he doesn't invest everything. He picks his shots. He's got a long reach as well. He sort of nearly matches OSP in reach. 80 inches for OSP, 79 inches for Jamahal Hill. I feel like Jamahal Hill has the footwork advantage at this point in his career, and also the aggression advantage, but it's an educated aggression. He didn't go out there against Farias Diabriu and swing haymaker after haymaker and get the KO in the first round. No, he followed up with a good combo, a knee to the body, followed by another good combo, and down he goes. He's got very effective striking. He doesn't get relentless. He doesn't get sloppy. I'm trusting him not to do that in this fight. I think he'll get the job done. Plus, Jamahal Hill, for a guy who started his career late, you've got to respect him. He jumped straight in at the deep end. And when I say straight in at the deep end, I mean the deepest end you can get. Like, he jumped straight in there against a guy who was 5-0 as an amateur. He had no experience. No experience. He's 0-0. Just wants to try it out, and I assume, and I have not spoke to Jamahal Hill or seen an interview of his, but I really do assume that in his mind, he was thinking to himself, right, it's 2016, I am 26, or I am 25 years of age right now. I don't know when that matches up with his birthday, but he's probably around 25 years of age. I'm late in the game. If I really want to make a career of this, I'm going to have to jump straight to work. And he goes in there in his first ever fight as an amateur against a 5-0 guy. If you're a 5-0 amateur, you're a prospect that they're looking to build up. Like, you're a dangerous guy, and he goes out there, KOs him in the second round, does not rest on his laurels, starts his pro career immediately afterwards, shows that he's in that rush. 2 fights in 2017, beats both of them. 2 fights in 2018, beats both of them. One of them was 19-7 to Quan Townsend at the time. Took him to a decision, which is always, again, good to see these decisions at these heavier weight classes, because it shows you can keep that pace up. Then he takes on 2 more guys in 2019, beats both of them, one of them being on the Contender Series, and Popek, who was 9-2. That's a good win. Then Darko Stosic, then Klidzin Abreu. I like his path so far, and I think he will get it done by KO in the first 2 rounds. I don't know how by KO, and I'm trying to think of how it's going to be by KO. I reckon he probably might land that 1-2 on OSP, 1 or 2 many to... I don't even know what I was going to say there. He might land it 1 or 2 too many times, that 1-2. A lot of 1-2s going on right now. He might land the 1-2, 1 or 2 too many times against OSP, and I think it will drop him in the first round, and he seems educated enough with his finishing ability to get the job done. He doesn't smother himself like guys like Gustafsson. I don't know why I brought up Gustafsson here, but Every time I think of bad finishing ability, why did I think of Gustafsson? He doesn't have bad finishing ability. But in the Glover Teixeira fight, there was a moment in the second round where Gustafsson just sort of ran with his hips towards Glover when he had rocked him really badly and just put himself in half guard. And sometimes you see these fighters do that when they smother their finish. Don't like that. Jamahal Hill stays at range. Against Abreu, he circled out, looked around. He's very aware. He's very educated. I think he's going to get the job done against OSP. His nickname is Sweet Dreams. Hopefully OSP will be having some sweet dreams and not nightmares come this weekend. And if he does win, Jamahal Hill is off to the races in the light heavyweight division, because I feel like you're talking top 15 immediately after this. No, he's not. I reckon he probably will get ranked. I'm just going to have a little look at who is ranked right now in the light heavyweight division. You know a roast of Ankleev is coming in a second here, because that ranking spot is unjustified and it makes no fucking sense. But still, Ovince Saint Preux number 15. I could see them. Man, that is sucky how they've done Ankleev, you know. Why is Ryan Spann ranked? Why the fuck is Ryan Spann ranked? He beat Sam Alvey and Devin Clark. He's number 12. He lost his last fight to Johnny Walker. He doesn't lose his ranking. I mean, he has a fight with Serkinov coming up, so I guess they're just going to keep the ranking for that. But I feel like if Jamahal Hill wins this one, put him at number 15, remove Ryan Spann from the rankings, in my opinion. Maybe slide down Ankleev as well, because Paul Craig is right there. Jimmy Crute beat Paul Craig by a submission, so Jimmy Crute gets a position above Paul Craig in the rankings. Paul Craig, I know he lost the fight, the majority of it, but he beats Magomed Ankleev by submission. Why is Ankleev above him in the rankings? That makes no sense whatsoever, but still, good light heavyweight rankings. If Jamahal Hill wins, I would like to see him sneak that number 15 slot from Ovince Saint Preux. Definitely feel like he's done enough. The undefeated streak also helps him out with that as well, because they seem to favour undefeated guys in the rankings. He'll be 9-0. I don't want to see him rushed straight to the top if he does win this weekend. I know that's exactly what they're going to fucking do, though. They're probably going to match him up against a Krylov, against a Spann Serkinov winner if it's Ryan Spann. If it's Serkinov, they might give Serkinov a jump up. But if it's Spann, they're probably going to give Spann to Jamahal Hill. And I don't want to see him jumped up too fast, because he's still so young in his career. Even though he's 29 years of age, and I know he probably feels like he needs to rush some things. If you win this one, you're 30 years of age in May 19th. All good. Come back around then in May before your birthday. Enjoy that. Get one more win in the rankings. I just don't want him to see him win a fight against OSP and then get chucked up the rankings against some top contender, because he's still young. 8-0, even though he's 29, as I said. 8-0 is not a lot of experience to have. And OSP experience is good experience. So if he wins, he'll have that on his shoulders and he can carry that into his next fight. But still, I think he's going to win. But it's always risky with OSP. It's always risky with OSP. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. If OSP loses, I don't know. Maybe it's finally time to call it quits. But probably not. He'll probably just beat someone else who's up and coming. I don't know. If OSP loses, match him up with Kutalaba or something along those lines. You know, Ion Kutalaba got KO'd. He'll be coming around probably early next year at some point. April maybe. Not too early, because he did get KO'd. So if OSP gets KO'd and loses, OSP versus Kutalaba, loser goes home situation. I feel like maybe we kind of need to get to that point with OSP's career, because he's been around for a long time. But yeah, I'm going to go with OSP. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Just terrified myself. I'm going to go with Jamahal Hill. Hopefully I didn't just curse that. But yeah. OSP. Best gatekeeper in the business. Like these other gatekeepers are on furlough. OSP is a fucking key worker on that gate. Like he's a real savage. He goes around twice a year. Never gives up a shift on that gatekeeping job. I like it. I still think Jamahal Hill wins. But yeah, no. Does Jamahal Hill go the direction of Dominic Reyes, Nikita Krylov? Or does he go the direction of Mikhail Alexeychuk, and I'm still going down with my hand, you can't quite see it, and Alonzo Manyfield? You know what I'm saying? I'm going really far down. I need to stop because my shoulder's aching. Goodbye! Click that button up there, like and subscribe. Toodle Pippington. Yeah.